it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. I'm hoping my brain will keep up with this today. I am attending an online conference at the moment, which is being run out of the USA, and it means that for those of us who are in Europe, it's very late in the morning that it finishes. I'm going to have a swig of water. Doesn't bode well, as I've hardly started. So yes, it's for the Stamping Up leaders. So it's being run out of the US, and it starts at 7 o'clock at night UK time. And last night I got to bed at 2. So it's, yeah, I'm a little shattered. So today is a Creating Kindness Day, and our theme is colour. And the first thing I just wanted to mention is where I got the inspiration for my piece today, and I know I'm covering it up for you still. So I always grow not only sunflowers, which I love, 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 but I also grow zinnias, which are always really bright and jolly, and you never know which colour they're going to be. And it even seems to me that the same plant can have more than one colour flower. They can't, but it almost seems like they do. So this is the result of that inspiration. So zinnias are this really bright, bright, bright pinky purple or purpley pink. They are yellow, and there are some that are this sort of coral colour. So that's where I've got my inspiration from. And this is using stamping blends, but it's also using ink blending. So it's a slightly odd combination, but it works. So that's what really matters. The flowers I've got from the Jar of Flowers stamp set, which is in the Stamping Up annual catalogue. I think we keep forgetting we have an annual catalogue as soon as the mini catalogue comes out. So I have got, yes I have, it's here, it was in my hand. I've got a piece of just plain Whisper White, and let's get started with some, not blends, some ink blending. So I'm using, wrong bundle, I'm using Calypso Coral, Mango Melody and Magenta Madness, so it's a really bright colour scheme. So let me bring in those ink pads. I have already got some glycerin on my sponge daubers. This helps smooth out the blending. If you've been following me for any length of time, you will know that I love a bit of glycerin to help spread the ink. So I'm going to start with my Mango Melody. I've got some ink in the lid of my ink pad just by squeezing it together. Just make sure that things are flowing. I'm going to end up with a kind of white-ish area in the middle is the plan. So I'm just going to come in and literally just blend ink. By adding the glycerin, it really does make a huge difference to how smooth your blend is. You don't get the harsh lines. I may need to add a little bit more glycerin, but yeah, I mean, once you've got glycerin on your paper, it tends to just kind of soak in and be there. Not on your paper, on your dauber. But this is a new colour, so it's one of our new in colours for 2020-2022. So I haven't done a huge amount of ink blending with it just yet. So that's my first colour down. I will do some more blending with that in a moment. My next colour is going to be my Calypso Coral, which I need to get some more ink in the lid. There we go. And again, got my sponge dauber pre-glycerined. This I'm going to be doing a much shorter, well, I'm going to be leaving this bit in the middle blank, because we want a pale bit in the middle. And I'm going to colour over the Magenta Madness so that the colours blend in, and then come over here. And so this is a blog hop. It's also a video hop, so there should be links in the description bar below for the video element. And then if you want to see the other project that the design team have come up with, hop over to my website, which is linked below as well, and you'll be able to find those there. Mango Melody. My Mango Melody is incredibly dry, and I need to get a new re-inker, which are a little difficult to get hold of in the UK at the moment. We've got problems with the German customs, and they don't seem to want to let our re-inkers through. And as our warehouse is in Germany, that's a little bit of an issue. So I need to... That's suitably off centre, isn't it? Never mind. We'll manage. It's fine. We'll pull it all back this way. So I'll add a bit more of the Magenta Madness. Let's get rid of that and grab my Magenta Madness again. But we literally are just layering. Now I will be die cutting this piece, so I'm not too worried that it's a bit lopsided. That's really not an issue. I'm just going to make sure that I get a bit more of the deeper shade of Magenta Madness here, because I think I'm going to be die cutting at that end, purely because of the way that it's come together. But I do want some really deep Magenta Madness as part of this. So I'm using the stitched rectangles so I can, yeah, you see, by doing that, this is then central. So let's add a bit more Magenta Madness here. And we're kind of good to go with that. I might do a bit more Mango Melody and a little bit more Calypso Coral, just very gently, just to blend the Mango Melody and the Calypso Coral together a wee bit better. Okay, so that is my ink blending. So let me clear those out of the way before I get them all over me. I am going to do my stamping and colouring before I die cut, so that I can get everything as close to where I need it as possible before I do the die cutting. So I've already mounted my stamp, and it is the one that really is sunflowers, but zinnias are a very similar shape, so that's fine by me. So we want to concentrate on this part in the middle where it's palest and stamp, and give it a bit of welly. I should probably have put a piercing mat underneath, but I'm going to give it a bit of welly, just so that we can make sure that that Memento ink definitely transfers across. There we go. And while that is drying, I'm going to take the opportunity to now do my die cutting. So, because I know now that this is where I'm working. So grab my lovely new Stampin' Cut and Emboss. It's gorgeous. It's so smooth to use. I was not convinced that I was going to, in inverted commas, need a new die cutting machine, but it is amazing. So pop that in. Don't know if you can, yes, you can just about see. Let's pull it that way, and then you should be able to see it coming out the other end. Now I've put it in at an angle so that we don't end up trying to jump over the straight lines, which is never a great idea. It just, yeah, it's just better if you don't. I mean, sometimes you have to, but if you can avoid going straight across, so if you can avoid going in that way, or indeed that way, it will just go through being a little more comfortable. And there we have our lovely die cut piece. Right, okay, so blends. I have been asked if I can remember to zoom in, so let's see if I can zoom in. Sorry if this is a bit, of course then I'm going to have to remember to zoom out. So here we go. I have got a few blends. The way I look at blends is that once you've got them, you've got them. So although they are an investment in the first place, they do last and last, so that's always good to know. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go in the same colour. So I'm going to go Magenta Madness, Calypso Coral, Mango Melody. I have brought the cinnamon cider and old olive in as well. I'm going to start by laying down the light colour, and it is quite bright, the Magenta Madness. Am I in? Yes, I am in camera. So long as I stay there, I should be in camera. So I'm going to lay down my light Magenta Madness first. Now, some of these areas you've got to decide whether it's a petal or background, where there are little gaps, and if it's a petal, which flower it's a petal of. So, yeah, there are a few tiny decisions that you have to make along the way. I do enjoy colouring. I find it so therapeutic. Colouring is not just for children. So while I'm doing this, few things to remind you about. We have, now where are we? I need to check what date we're on because I'm filming ahead. Right, we're in September. Okay, so we have a new joining offer. The new joining offer includes 2 free stamp sets, which are the Queen Anne's Lace, and I honestly can't remember which the other one is, but beautiful. So those come in your starter kit free. There's also card pre-cut, pre-scored, including envelopes, so that if you wish to, you can hold your first class. You don't have to demonstrate in order to be a, in inverted commas, demonstrator. Basically, we're all just crafters, and some of us are canny about having a discount. So yeah, if you just want the discount, that's fine. But there are these card bases in there, and instructions and all that good stuff are available. So extra stuff, always good. The ink for the project is not included, so you would need to get that. If you need the information on that, just let me know and I can make sure I have that for you. I will try to add it to my website because I believe we have a PDF that we can download, so I will try and add that to the website, and that's linked below, so do just bear that in mind. So that's that. So I'm just bringing this out so I can have a look at what colouring I did. Right, I'm using, again, the Magenta Madness. Ooh, no, not that one. The Dark Magenta Madness for some of the standalone small flowers. So there's that going on. My Have a Hoot class is now closed. So sorry about that, anyone who's missed out on that. But I will be doing more classes in the future, so keep your eyes open for that. Calypso Coral Light. What else can I tell you? Of course, if you want this Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine, you can add that to your starter kit, which means you get it at a really good discount. So do think about that. Paper Pumpkin Box of Sunshine is still available, as at the moment when I'm filming this. It's a really lovely little kit, so do have a think about that. Great for presents, so if you've got people who you want to introduce to crafting, makes a great present. It's got everything you need in it to make the projects, with the single exception of there is no block, but you could easily add a block, and if you do, oops, I've missed some petals out. If you do add a block, oh, and I want this flower down here to be Calypso Coral as well. If you do add a block, I would suggest the D block. That, I think, might still be part of that petal. So, yeah, really great way to introduce someone to crafting. Some superb projects are already in there. You can do some alternatives, and there is enough left over in the kit, having made the projects, for you to make some extra projects. If you buy the Paper Pumpkin from me, you will get a PDF with some alternative projects in it. So and they are sized specifically for the UK. I will try to include US measurements, but as I don't have a huge amount of the paper pumpkin bits and pieces to play with, it may not be totally possible, but definitely for international A4. Obviously, if you're in the US, you won't be able to buy it from me anyway, so it's a bit academic. But I will include both metric and imperial measurements, so if there's anyone like me who may use international A4 card but likes inches, you will be catered for. So yes, this leadership event that I've been attending, which, as I say, is making me a little bit frazzled, has been amazing. And at the point when I'm filming this, right, so I'm going over to Mango Melody. At the point where I'm filming this, we've just had the end of the first full day. And as I say, I got to bed at 2 o'clock this morning, and that was me going early. The final session was something that is being recorded, so I thought I would take to my bed. I woke up at 10 o'clock. This is unheard of for me. I never, ever sleep past about 6, maybe 7 o'clock. So yeah, I was clearly shattered. Mango Melody Dark. But we've been having outside speakers. We've had information about some exciting stuff that's coming up, which I can't tell you about. But yes, lots and lots of exciting stuff. Where the new next incentive trip is. All sorts of stuff. It's just been amazing. If for no other reason than we've been able to, this I'm going to do in Mango Melody Dark as well, we've been able to get some inside information from the leadership team, which has been really special. I mean, they're always, with the leaders, they're always quite open about, well, not everything, but a lot of what's been planned. But this has been even more. So, yeah. And it's been great to mix with leaders from other parts of the world, see whether they've got the same issues that we've got with things, how they're coping with the whole coronavirus thing. Right, I'm going to go over to my old olive. So, yeah, it's been really interesting. I think it's hit the States, well, I'm going to say the States more than the rest of us. Because I've always been online, I probably haven't been as impacted as many, because I was already online. But yeah, a lot of the American ladies had done nothing online at all, in that they didn't have YouTube channels, they didn't do Facebook Lives. They don't even know where to start. So it's been a really interesting few days. We started late on Thursday, just with a kind of opening ceremony. So yeah, just going to add a bit of shading, and then anything that is currently white that is in here, I'm going to colour with the dark old olive, just so that it kind of fades into the background a little bit. Let's do dark old olive over here. So in here, for example, so that it's not stark white, by using the old olive, it just sort of blends it out, makes it sink into the background, and if anyone sees the colour, they'll just think it's more greenery. So it's quite a cute little trick, that. And then we can bring back some more ink blending, which I will be doing in a couple of areas. Okay, so we've now just got the inside of the flower heads to do, which is where I'm going to use my cinnamon cider. Interestingly with, well, that wasn't the right one to do. I wanted the light one. Interestingly with zinnias, they start with a bright yellow inside, and it then becomes more of a kind of cinnamon cidery finish, although they then pop up. It's very odd. I do like them, but yeah. So this is a kind of, oh, and I'm going to put some little cinnamon cider dots on there for shading, and then a few darker dots with this. So before tonight's session, I am going to go for a run to see if I can blow a few cobwebs out. That, I think, needs to be green. Right, okay, so that's most of the colouring, well, it's all of the colouring with the blends done. But what I wanted to do is bring back in some of this ink to blend, because I've got some whitish areas on the edge of my stamping that are too white, don't like them. So, but you can just add it kind of gently over the top, and it just helps fade it in a bit. Let's bring in a little tiny weeny bit of Magenta Madness at that side. So that's that. Let me remember to zoom out. Ooh. Out. Out is better. Right, okay, so quickly put the card together. So I've got a black stitched rectangle, it's just the next size up. I've got a piece of the Magenta Madness Designer Series paper from the In Colour pack, which I'm going to pop on here. Now it's the same pattern. I'm going to put the dots on because I want you to tell me which one you prefer. Do you prefer the textile or the dots? So I would love you to let me know in the comments below. If you've got any questions about anything that I've done today, or any general questions about Stampin' Up, being a demonstrator, I can only answer that for UK and Europe because my team can only come from UK, France, Germany, the Netherlands or Austria. And things are slightly different in some of the other regions. So, for example, we don't have a regular paper pumpkin. And I know that the starter kit in North America is different specifically because of that. Now I'm going to use Stampin' Seal to put my rectangle on as well, because I don't particularly like using the liquid adhesive for this, as it can sometimes show through. So let me... And by show through I mean it can just be a little proud. It's just, yeah. Anyway, take my word for it. It's just a little odd. Now, here's a confession. This was a piece that I used on my Facebook Live earlier this week. And it might have been that last week when you're seeing this. And it went horribly wrong, so I just put it to one side. And I've used it for this. So, some black dimensionals, as it's on a dark colour. And then... we are done. So, as ever, there will be a list of products over on my website and below. So if you are in the UK and need any of those, please let me know. Well, please go to my online store. If you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you could, that would be in the bottom right-hand corner. That would be amazing. That's the wrong way up. There we are. So there we are. Those are my two ink blended and blend zinnia based creating for kindness projects for you. I hope you've enjoyed them. If you have, please give them a thumbs up, and as I say, if you've got any questions or comments, then leave those below the description bar. There's a link in the description bar to my website with the measurements. Have a fantastic day. Do continue with the hop, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.